People ask the question, how come players, in spite of what they earn, they go broke afterwards? If you are lucky as a footballer, you will play football to the age of 35. That is if you are lucky. Unless you are one of these extraterrestrial that we have now, which is Ronaldo and Messi, who can play up to 40. No. If you play your career to 35, and then you retire at 35, and God allows you to live up to 70 or 80, you still have 35, 40 years to live. How much would you have earned to be able to cater for yourself on a monthly basis? Rufai died at the age of 61. He stopped playing football 25 years before. Now, if you multiply 25 years by 12 months that he had to go through before God called him up to heaven, we are talking about 300 months. That is 300 months that the man had to cater for himself, his wife, the kids, and the family, and friends. How much must he have earned to be able to do that? It's almost impossible. So that means for Rufai to be viable, to survive, and to be a dignified human being after retirement, he needs to somehow have some form of employment. The only form of employment this man can get is in the football field. The football field in Nigeria is dead. I use the word dead because we have become a nation where our national team is even being beaten by Sudan, a country that is at war. We're beaten not 1-0 by Sudan, we're beaten 4-0 by Sudan.
Nigeria is mourning again. Another legend gone, Peter Rufai, the man called Dodo Mayana, the goalkeeper who stood tall for the Super Eagles on the biggest stages, has passed away. But beyond tributes and the highlights being replayed on TV, there's a bigger, painful question. Why do our football heroes keep leaving us this way? And now Taribo West has said it plainly, Nigeria abandons its legends. No welfare, no support, no recognition until the final posters go up. These are harsh words, but is he lying?
People laugh when they say giants of Africa. No. Nigeria is not giant. We are not giants of Africa. Nigerians, we are giants of the world. Every 36 people you meet on this earth, one is a Nigerian. We are 220 million people and counting.
We're scattered everywhere.
There are many places in the north that the census didn't go to.
Abi.
So if you look at it, we are supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I have to laugh, but this is a very serious issue. But
yeah, it is.
So we are really, really huge as a people. We have so much natural resources that we even ourselves don't know we have at the moment. So we are not just a small country. That is why I go back to what I said earlier. If Ghana can bury Christian Atsu the way they did, Nigeria, that is the giants of the world, how dare we bury Rufai like this?
Like that. Welcome, my name is Omotoyosi Adebanjo, your co-host on Global Football Insight with Oliseh. And on today's episode, we don't want to sugarcoat anything, we want the truth. And who better to have on this conversation with a man who has lived it all, played alongside Rufai, captained the Super Eagles, and coached them too as well. And of course, Sunday Oliseh, welcome to the podcast.
It's nice to be here again, Toyosi.
Yes. Coach, let's be honest today because Nigerians need it. I know this has been a painful time for you personally, losing your own brother and then Peter Rufai, a teammate and a friend. How have you really been processing all of this behind the scenes?
Well, to your seats, I'm living the worst moment in my lifetime. And I think it's been horrible for me. I never thought it could be like this. I lost my brother Uche exactly day for day, 2 weeks after Peter Rufai died. So I was mourning the fact that I had lost another colleague again, and then my own brother died. And as it turns out, he's the brother that most people refer to as my favorite brother, my friends, because he's kind of like
very close to you.
Yeah, but also there's something special about Uche that I can't describe. And in fact, anybody who knows Uche will tell you. So that one really hurt me a lot. And in fact, it touched me so bad that twice I almost got a car accident.
Wow.
After the issue. I was once on the highway and I just kind of drifted away, just thinking about what could have been. And the second time I was in the center of the city and I was driving up to go to, I think I was going to have breakfast with my wife or something. And then I just like drifted away again. I was just thinking about what could have been again with Uche. So it's been horrible times. And that is why I have an idea what the family of Rufai are going through.
Yeah.
The horrible moments they are going through. And that's why when I hear all these things happening left and right now, it just doesn't go down well with me.
Yeah, true. I'm really sorry for your loss, and of course, may their soul rest in peace. Coach,
Amen.
you've shared the dressing room with Peter Rufai, fought battles with him in the green and white shirt. What's your most powerful memory of him as a teammate and as a man?
Peter Rufai, lovable guy. Hardly ever gets angry. He knows when to be firm, knows when to be direct, and he was one of the most respected players I ever played with. He's that kind of a person. And he's full of jokes. And he always has nice stories to tell. But there's one thing about Rufai that most people do not know about is that Rufai wanted so much to win something for Nigeria. I think his first representation of Nigeria at the AFCON was in 84. He didn't win it. 88 again, he came up again. He didn't win it. And then in 1994, when we came up and we eventually won it, 2 years after we won this cup, it was difficult taking the cup away from Peter.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Jesus. Dodo was holding on to the trophy even after Pele gave it to us. He didn't want to relinquish it because the man had searched for it for so long.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person Dodo was. And there's a picture that is all over the world now. The picture that you see Dodo Mayana on my right side, I am in the middle, and Stevie Keshi is on the left. And we are holding on to the trophy.
Yeah.
It was about one of the few times I was able to take the picture with the trophy because Dodo wouldn't let it go.
Oh.
So that tells you the kind of a person he was and the much dedication he invested in trying to bring something back home to Nigeria.
Yeah, and speaking of stories, growing up myself, I had so many stories about the man himself. I was so used to calling him Keeper Rufai, not knowing that his full name is actually Peter Rufai. Well, I'm sure wonderful memories there from Dodo Mayana, like you usually call him. But
Yeah, Dodo.
let's move now to the golden generation and of course the pain. 6 of your golden generation teammates are gone. Keshi, Oliha, Yekini, Agbonovari, Okafor, and now Rufai. That's really heartbreaking. What made this group so unique, and why does it feel like their struggles after football hits harder than most?
First of all, the 6 people that are gone is scary to me now. It's scary because we're 22 of us, and now 6 are gone. But what makes this group really exceptional, what makes this group, why it resonates when anything happens to this group is the fact that that generation is the Pathfinder generation. That's the generation that opened up Nigeria's football. That's the generation responsible for Nigerian football being on the world map. Filled with just people who were not only Pathfinders, but we all see like, I'll give you the word, most people call them trailblazers now.
Yeah. Pace setters.
Why do I call them Pathfinder? I would liken it to this. It's like a man who goes into the Amazon forest. No human being has ever gone past there. It's just forest, wild forest. Ever since the creation of this world, no human being has ever gone there. What that Pathfinder does is that he's going to find a way to go through there. While trying to make a way all through this forest, he will leave some footprints. He will get into some potholes. He might even get killed while trying to get away to find a way to make the route through the Amazon, through the forest. The importance of a Pathfinder, and that is why there are people that the world must never forget, is that it makes it easier for any other person that's coming behind him to use that route. Because while going through that route, he will leave note like, oh, I tried to get here, there's a hole there, be careful. This road is good. And then people will just follow the routes. And then the one coming after them will even look good because it's easier.
And well prepared.
And that's what every member of this group, let me even put it now into action, what they actually did. Because the generation of today might not know what that generation did. Stephen Keshi was the first Nigerian ever to go to play in the Belgian league. His arrival there and the fact that he did well there made it possible for other Nigerians to follow through. Peter Rufai was one of the first goalkeepers, Nigerian goalkeepers ever to be signed abroad to go to play professional football. That was at a time where African goalkeepers were never bought. Nobody ever thought about buying goalkeepers from Africa, but they broke it. So they made the way open for people like Ikechukwu, Dosu Joseph to follow afterwards.
Yeah.
I was the first Nigerian to ever play in the then most prestigious and the most difficult league to play in the world, the Italian league.
Yeah.
The fact that I was able to do well there and also score a goal there as the first Nigerian to score a goal there opened the way for people like Kanu Nwankwo, Obafemi Martins, Taribo West, and even my good friend again, Dosu Joseph, to be able to play
too.
Exactly. So you see, that generation of the 1994 generation, all we did was open the way for everybody. And that's it.
Yeah, you've spoken about Pathfinder's errors in the past. Can you break that down for us? What mistakes did your generation make that today's players are learning from?
First of all, let me debunk one erroneous notion or illusion that people have about the Pathfinder generation. People believe that this generation earns so much money. And in fact, sometimes I hear when they say, okay, well, why should anybody cater for them? After all, they earned so much when they were playing for Nigeria. That's a lie. When we played for Nigeria, our match bonuses were $1,000 and sometimes $3,000. That's what we were being paid. And that's even when they paid it, because we had to fight for it most of the time for it to be paid. Sometimes we have to go on strike for it to be paid. Sometimes we have to refuse to play matches for them to pay us. And then they will label the team rebels, mafia, and everything, because you are fighting for your rights. That's what this team was all about. Now, people believe that we earned so much money. That's a lie. Yeah. This group were pioneers. They were pathfinders. So that means we are about the first to go to Europe. When we got to Europe, we were underpaid. I personally, my first contract that I signed in 1990 with FC Liège, I was paid $1,000 a month. Now, that was what I signed. And when I multiplied it by Nigerian Naira, when they offered it to me, I signed it very quickly because I just felt, okay, this is going to solve a lot of problems back home for the family, for myself and everything. When the first month came and I was paid my salary, I was paid $750. And I went to the office and the accountant, I said, hey, you made a mistake. I signed the $1,000 contract and it's $750. And the man said, okay, there's nothing wrong. You have to pay taxes on it. You have to pay for insurance and everything. So that is what for your health service, health insurance and everything. And then, okay, $750. So you see, those are the kind of errors we made because we didn't know it. And I called it the Pathfinders' naivety. Yeah. We're naive because we're Pathfinders. Nobody before us had gone to tell us this is what is happening so we could learn from them. But the ones who came after us, I had a lot of Nigerian players, even when that come to me in national camp and say, what is it like? And then you explain to them, okay, this is what happens, that is what you have to do. Yeah. So those are the kind of errors we did. So when you hear anybody say that generation was paid well, it's a big lie. Yeah. And it's hurtful to hear it because the reality was that due to our contractual restraints, we couldn't deny it when someone came out and said, these people are being paid a lot of money. Furthermore, we also have egos. We also had our own pride. Sometimes it was good for the package when they say, okay, he's earning a lot. So I will accept it, but I won't deny it. And furthermore, I will just manage and bring one Tokumbo car in. That way people will look at me in a different way. Yeah. So that was this illusion that has gone on. And that has cost us dearly.
Yeah, because you had to probably keep up with the appearance and the lie.
Yes, and then the demands for people from your environment, from people around you is high. Yeah. Everybody feels you've made it, you have, and then they come. And you trying to keep up with the Joneses, like they say, will also try to live up to it, and help as much as you can.
Yeah. Rufai's death has once again raised tough questions about ex-players and welfare. People wonder, how can legends of our generation who earned good money, just like the illusion that they've earned good money in the past, end up struggling financially?
In fact, we are kind of like the older ones are around now. We are the most successful ones. We are the most popular ones. So when something happens to us, it's news. But there's also something I would like to share. That is the fact that this generation, you see, people will forget whatever you say to them, but people might even forgive whatever you did to them and forget. Yeah. But people will never forget how you made them feel. And that is what this generation has that is going to be difficult for any other generation to ever have. The way that generation made Nigerians feel. It was at a time whereby Nigerians were coming into football. This gave them bragging rights. In fact, football is a friendly warfare, especially if you go into the World Cup. And the fact that this was the first generation that really even qualified Nigeria for the World Cup. Another pathfinding. Prior to this generation, Nigeria never went to the World Cup. Every World Cup, Nigerians just chose a side, which was Brazil. That's the team we were supporting. That was our own national team in Nigeria. But it was when my generation came up, that's when we not only qualified, but we also went there and we beat the so-called Brazil. So that kind of like made Nigerians feel that is the only generation till today, no matter the country we are playing in this world, Nigerians believe we can beat them. And we proved it at the Olympics also. And no matter any country we are playing in this world, as long as the referee has not blown the final whistle, Nigerians believe Nigeria will still equalize or win the game. That's how good this generation were. So it is somehow painful to be part of this generation and sometimes hear somebody make illusions as if they are demanding too much. No. This generation put you on the map. The least you can do is be appreciative of it.
And well, I can speak for myself. I'm definitely very appreciative of this generation. Let's do some comparison to modern players now. Some argue that modern day players are better prepared because they learned from obviously your generation's mistakes. But we still see ex-players today go broke. Why is this circle so hard to break?
The current generation also have a modified sufferance of that same problem. For example, I would take the Premier League because that's the league that most Nigerians follow very much.
True.
When a player is signed in the Premier League, it comes out like he's earning 100,000 a week. That's the wages that is put out there. But what they don't tell is that in reality, since the UK operates the pay-as-you-earn tax system, that means the player will be paying about 45% taxes on that wages. You also pay for his own contribution to the insurance for the healthcare from it, and the agent will pick up 5 to 10% from his wages. At the end of the day, if I calculate it for a player who's earning about 100,000 a week, it boils down to about 48,300 that will come to his pocket.
That's take home.
That's take home. That's the net income he's going to earn. If a man comes, or a brother, or a family, or a cousin, or a friend, or a neighbor comes and says, look, please, I need you to lend me or to give me 10,000 pounds. And the player says, I don't have 10,000 pounds. The first thing the neighbor will think of is that, look, you're just being stingy. You can't even help me out with 10% of your wages. In reality, the 10,000 is going to be 10,000 from 48,300 the man has earned, which is coming to about 21 to 22% of what he has earned. You see, that is the thing. And that is what this generation is suffering now. But when you sign a professional contract, it is clearly written confidentiality in your contract. You are not allowed to go public sharing the contents of your contract. That is confidential. So these modern players that are being paid these amounts will never come out publicly and tell you, look, what they are putting in this paper, I'm not earning 100,000. I'm only earning really 48,000. It comes back to the same thing. The ego thing, the contractual restraints thing, the fact that we want to be seen as being arrived. The player now is going to be looked upon as being a billionaire. Whereas in reality, he's a millionaire.
Yeah, very true. Critics say that players should simply save their money instead of constantly giving until they are left with nothing. Is that fair, or is that view ignoring the cultural pressures Nigerian players face?
When we played for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, our home base, we were either camped at the Sheraton Hotel Ikeja or at the Eko Meridian, which is now the Eko Towers, I think, in Lagos. Now, anytime we're camped there, you can make your research. Ask anybody who worked at Sheraton. From the moment a day we're going to be coming in, the lobbies, the reception of the hotel is overflowed.
Filled up.
It's filled up. It's like the Oshodi market. That is how it was. And it is filled up with people. And who are these people? Sometimes these people come all the way down from Kaduna, from the east, all the way down from all parts of Nigeria, relatives, friends, to the players, coming there to try to seek some form of help. Most people don't even take account of. In my lifetime, My generation were probably the most generous human beings I ever lived with. Every time we got to play for Nigeria, it was rare for any player, we win, we get a match bonus. It was rare for any player to take $100 with them and fly back to their base in Europe.
Wow.
They left it all back home, trying to help friends, family, and obviously themselves too. But that was the situation.
Yeah.
So to now, put yourself in the place of that player. A player who knows that all through the time I served my country successfully, I was being paid maybe $1,000 for a draw or a win, and then $2,000 or $3,000 for a win. And most of that money I earned, I spent it not only on myself. I spent it also trying to help my kind, trying to follow our culture, which is a communal culture, very inclusive culture. Now, when a player does this, and then he gets to read, or sometimes even hear from a pressman that he helped one time or the other, write or say that, look, they just blew their money away. Can you imagine the psychological trauma that is? I helped you, you're killing me on the back. So that is what we've had to live with.
Now, let's go now to Taribo West's outburst. Taribo West says there was no zero support from the NFF and government, that legends are abandoned once they stop playing. You've been in the system yourself. Is he exaggerating, or is that the sad reality?
To give my opinion of this, I will take you on a ride. In 2023, natural earthquake struck Turkey. When that earthquake struck Turkey, it killed one of our cousins from Ghana. That is Christian Atsu, a Ghanaian international. What did the Ghanaian government do? The Ghanaian government took charge of repatriating the body all the way from Turkey back home. They gave moral support to the family. They gave him a state burial. The president of Ghana, I don't mean the president of the federation, the president of the country, the vice president of the country, the president of the federation, the officials of the federation, they were all present as they buried this young man. Now, with all due respect to Christian Atsu, he did not win a major title for his country. That means that he did not go on a friendly warfare on his country and came back as a conqueror. Peter Rufai and my 5 colleagues that have gone. At one point, thanks to our own efforts, we were ranked as the 5th best nation in the whole world. There are 193 countries in this world. There are over 8.4 billion people in this world. And we made Nigeria the 5th best. Now, let's come to what Taribo is being attacked for. The issue at stake is not Taribo. The issue at stake is not the political preference of Taribo. The issue at stake is that one of our colleagues, a legend who served Nigeria who excelled in Nigeria, has died. His funeral service was there, and I saw the guest list. The president of the Nigerian Football Federation was not present. The vice president was not present. The secretary general was not present. And what I'm hearing is that they said they sent a delegation. What has our president of the federation better to do than to attend the burial of one of the biggest legends ever to play football for Nigeria? It is the efforts of people like Rufai that our federation has the status it has now. So how do you pay this man back? Now, you can always say, okay, we sent something to the family. That is not the issue. The issue is not sending something to the family. The funeral service should be like they did for Atsu. Take control of it. And let us even look at it from another point of view. Any money the federation is spending is not the federation's money. Any money that the federation is spending on any ex-player or its players now is not the private money. That is our communal money. That is the money that FIFA gives to every country to manage its own football affairs. So you have to delegate part of it for things like this. It's a confederation that is very, very generous, very democratic. I've been with FIFA now for almost 12 years. One thing FIFA does is that it makes an effort to make sure it caters for its federation members.
Its federations,
So there is no way FIFA is starving Nigeria. FIFA is taking best care of Nigeria as they can. All we are asking now is that at one point this has to stop. This issue is very touchy. It's very touchy because it was the same thing that was done to Stephen Keshi. His burial was delayed to the point whereby the family almost became rebellious. They were even saying we will not bury Keshi, we have to wait till after the Olympics to bury him.
Olympics, yeah.
Now, what an insult. This was the man who captained us to win the Nations Cup and coached Nigeria to win the Nations Cup.
To win the Nations Cup, yeah.
And it will continue because nobody is held responsible when such things happen.
Others argue that the country can't keep supporting ex-players forever. Do you believe government and the NFF should have a role in looking after legends, or is this asking for too much?
To start with, the ex-professional players are not asking you to give them money. They're not asking you to pay us monthly. The ex-professional players, what they are asking is to make the industry viable. The football industry is the only thing we know. For you to hit the top, for you to be able to hit the top level like we did, you must start at a very, very tender age. That means you must sacrifice one form of profession or the other. You must sacrifice maybe school education.
Yeah.
So you have to now follow your own job, which is football. By doing that, you are a specialist, you are an expert in your field, which is football. People ask the question, how come players, in spite of what they earn, go broke afterwards? If you are lucky as a footballer, you will play football to the age of 35. That is if you are lucky. Unless you are one of these extraterrestrial that we have now, which is Ronaldo and Messi, who can play up to 40. No, but if, and that notwithstanding, don't forget that these two can play up to this level because the whole team sacrifices for them to be able to be there, which nobody would do for any African player. You play, if you play your career till 35, and then you retire at 35, and God allows you to live up to 70 or 80, you still have 35, 40 years to live. How much would you have earned to be able to cater for yourself on a monthly basis? Rufai died at the age of 61. He stopped playing football 25 years before. Now, if you multiply 25 years by 12 months that he had to go through before God called him up to heaven, we are talking about 300 months. That is 300 months that the man had to cater for himself, his wife, the kids, and the family, and friends. How much must he have earned to be able to do that? It's almost impossible. So that means for Rufai to be viable, to survive, and to be a dignified human being after retirement, he needs to somehow have some form of employment. The only form of employment this man can get is in the football field. The football field in Nigeria is dead. I use the word dead because we have become a nation where our national team is even being beaten by Sudan, a country that is at war. We're beaten not 1-0 by Sudan, we're beaten 4-0 by Sudan. Hey, if you're hooked on these incredible stories and want more epic insights, smash that like button. Subscribe now to our podcast channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Share with your friends and join our community on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, X, and Facebook for exclusive updates and more unforgettable tales. Now let's get back to the episode. 4-0. Now, this is, someone might say, why is it that Sunday is talking? If Taribo doesn't talk, who's going to talk? If the other Nigerian players who have won titles for Nigeria don't talk, who is going to talk? These are people who have confirmed, they have shown that they are good at what they've done. They've excelled. So their comments, their opinions have to be respected.
Very true. Of course, there's nobody better to talk about this than you. You've been a player, a coach, a captain, and even sat on football committees. From all those angles, do you believe Nigerian football institutions truly care about their player welfare after retirement?
We don't have a player welfare to start with. We don't have a player welfare. Because when you're talking about player welfare, that means that you have a fund that caters for players.
Or structure in place.
Before we go to structures, let's talk of fund. You must have a fund. That means there's a certain amount where there's a certain bank where money drops in every month for players. We don't have that. The second thing we don't have, infrastructures for these players to work when they stop playing. Infrastructures for the youth to develop. We don't have it. You see, when Peter Rufai, Keshi, Egwavon, Agbonivare, Oliseh, Fini the George, Amunike, when we all left Nigeria, the state of the league then was 10 times better than what the state of the league is now. We are about the only country in the world where that is happening. So that means that the state that we had then, when we left to become professional soccer players, you couldn't come back to me that same state and say, okay, let me now continue it. If you doubt it, I'll tell you what it was when I was living. When I was living, we had Badagry League. That was the league where those of us who are around Badagry played.
Okay.
And the main center was at Festac, FHA pitch. That's where we played. Siasia played there. I played there. We all played there. We had the Lafa League. We had the league, Ekpe League. We had the fourth division. We had the third division. We had the second. We had the first. Now, those leagues had so many clubs. There were so many players to play. There were so many playing pitches. Today, what do we have? We don't have them anymore. So the grassroots is totally dead. In revenge, what do we have? We have academies. Mm-hmm. There is nowhere in the world that a country succeeds if what it has are academies. It is club football that makes countries succeed, not academy football. Yeah. So now you have an idea already, one of the big major problems we have in our country.
Mm-hmm. Are we seeing a system neglect here where why does Nigeria struggle so much to honor its football heroes? Other countries celebrate their legends. We seem to forget them. Is this down to bad governance, corruption, or just lack of value for our history?
Well, one of the major problems we have are ourselves, the ex-professional soccer players. We are one of the major problems.
Why would you say that?
I suffered betrayal and backstabbing in 2002 when I was captain of the team. I didn't go to the World Cup, not because of something I did, but because I was fighting for other people. That was why. Not me. I was not the bad one. It was trying to make sure that all my colleagues as a captain got paid their dues.
Yeah.
That caused the ganging up. And even some of my colleagues backstabbed me at the time. No problem. I left them to God. And I'm grateful to God I'm alive, and I saw the way God dealt with every one of them.
Yeah.
In fact, my mother had told me then, leave it. God will handle it. And the way God dealt with
fight for you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
First, no try God, though. So I have seen it. I'm happy I'm alive to have seen how they all got punished for it.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at what happened to Finidi George when he was coach. How many of our colleagues came out to defend Finidi? Almost none. Let's look at what happened to Amunike. None. How many came out to fight for Keshi? None. Now it has happened again to Rufai. How many have come up? None. Taribo has come up and has said a word about it. He's been attacked now by certain quarters. How many of our colleagues have come out and said, look, the issue is not Taribo's comments. The issue is the fact that Rufai was not buried. How many have come out now to defend it? This is where I have a beef, because whether we like it or not, there is only one thing we are setting up as human beings.
Yeah.
We will all die one day.
Of course.
Whether we like it or not, it is the only thing you're setting up. You will leave this earth one day. Rufai has left us now, earlier than he should have. It will happen to you. It will happen to me. It will happen to all my colleagues one day. When that happens, who is going to fight for you? That is the thing. I will never comment. I've been watching. And it's been like that. And it has happened again. At one point, it has to stop. When you are fighting for your colleague, you're not fighting for him alone. You are fighting for him. You're fighting for his family. You're fighting for yourself. And you're fighting for the ones that will come after you.
Yes.
That is what makes a man. Not by being quiet and say, look, I won't say anything because maybe I will go to meet them in the office and ask for something. I need them to be able to help me out or something. So let me be quiet.
Yeah.
Because if I come out now and I defend Taribo or if I defend Peter Rufai, then when I need help, nobody will answer me. But
if we're to look for a way forward, If you had the power today, what structures would you put in place to make sure legends like Rufai are celebrated, supported, and remembered, not just at funerals, but while they are still alive?
Well, to start with, if we're going to look for solutions to solving Nigeria's problem, that these kind of things never happen, first of all, we have to restructure our football. We have to give ourselves a football system. We have to make our football industry viable. Football is not entertainment anymore. Football is business. And the moment we never put that into our minds, our consciousness and subconsciousness, that we have to fight for football because it's a business that feeds people, we will never get by. Football is business. So what we have to do is to make sure that the league is viable. The local leagues are viable. And by creating that, you create employment for ex-players and you create a market for everything around the football. Because don't forget, each time you have a football match in an area, all the market women who sell Coca-Cola, they will come to sell.
Yeah.
So that is what we call the multiplier effect when you invest in football. Now, the multiplier effect is what we have to be looking for in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very huge country. People laugh when they say giants of Africa. No. We are not giants of Africa. Nigerians, we are giants of the world. Every 36 people you meet on this earth, one is a Nigerian. We are 220 million people and counting.
We're
There are many
scattered
places.
everywhere.
There are many places in the north that the census didn't go to.
Abi.
So if you look at it, we are supposed to,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I have to laugh, but this is a very serious issue. But
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
so we are really, really huge as a people. Look
Yeah.
at, we have so much natural resources that we even ourselves don't know we have at the moment. So we are not just a small country. That is why I go back to what I said earlier. If Ghana can bury Christian Atsu the way they did,
Yeah.
Nigeria, that is the giants of the world, how dare we bury Rufai like this?
Like that.
How dare we do that? Come on. He's one of us. He's our blood. He's our legend.
What message does this send to current Super Eagles stars now? Victor Osimhen, Wilfred Ndidi, Ademola Lookman, knowing that even icons like Rufai and Taribo West felt abandoned.
Well, the message this is sending to them now is that, look, you have to be self-sufficient. You have to find a way to create your own welfare when you leave. Because the bling ends the day you stop playing.
Yeah.
There is one thing I would like us as a nation to be aware of. In as much as I feel Osimhen's ambition as from a sporting point of view, and I repeat, in as much as I feel that Osimhen from a sporting point of view has to do everything to play in the highest
Premier
league,
League.
in the Premier League, which is at the moment, it might be the Spanish league tomorrow
Yeah.
to play in those places. The priority of the thing is that the young players of today have to remember that football is your job, is your source of livelihood, it's not an entertainment. So for that reason, take it seriously, save as much as you can, cater for your family, help people as much as you can help.
Yeah.
Because if you don't help people, God will punish you for it. That is the African man's
Mentality.
culture.
Yeah.
If you don't help other people, with time you will get paid back by the Almighty Himself. So do that, but at the same time, save as much as you can.
Yeah.
Don't ask people to invest for you. No,
Invest yourself.
invest yourself, but invest in what you know. Don't invest in
Well,
somebody's advice.
yeah.
If you invest yourself in sports or in football, for example, you have an advantage. What is the advantage? That is your job. You know the insider. I know how I have to prepare myself for a World Cup game, for a league game. The man on the street doesn't know it. I know that if I want to play well on Saturday, I'll be at my best. It is not enough for me to just sleep good on Friday. I have to sleep good on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It climbs. Those are things other people don't know. Those are the secrets you have. Use it for yourself. And there are other industries you can invest in, but all that you have to do it well prepared. But trust in yourself.
Yeah. Well, this is one wonderful advice I'm taking. I'm putting it on my left hand now so that so I don't use it to eat eba or semo.
No. You have an advantage more than everybody else. You are close to me. So,
Okay. Yeah.
so
Well, yes, I'm privileged
so
to have
you're,
first-hand advice. Yeah.
and you're a very smart girl. So you know how to ask good questions at your advantage. So it's good.
Thank you. So now, Coach, to close this, let me put you on the spot here. Do you believe the NFF failed Peter Rufai and other legends? Yes or no?
The NFF has been failing us forever. It is no secret.
Yeah.
In fact, if we had the better federation, Nigeria would have won the World Cup. The federation is extremely important. It's extremely important. And that is why I am highly more than disappointed the way this burial of Rufai went. Experience has taught me this. The moment you hear somebody saying something and the second one who's coming out to counter them is not giving back arguments that are based on facts or resources, and they're attacking the person, the character of the other person, that already tells you that the one who's attacking the character is wrong. So that is why I said earlier on, this issue is not about Taribo West, whatever he said.
Yeah.
This issue is not about Taribo West as regards his political background, his beliefs.
Yeah.
This issue is about what the point Taribo was highlighting and pinpointing on. That was the fact that the burial was not done in a way that it should have been done for a huge personality like Peter Rufai.
Yeah. It's been a very sad moment for Nigerians, especially those who are obviously for the NFF and those who are against the NFF in terms of how they've managed and handled this whole situation. And I hope and I pray that God comforts your family after your loss and the family of Peter Rufai too as well.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, guys, for listening to this particular podcast. Another one will be coming up very, very soon. Like we always say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share our videos. And in the comment section, if there's any topic or any conversation you'd like us to touch on, do share in our comment section.